Hey guys, Camfrey15, joined by my co-host, The Red Wolf, back at it again with another video for you guys, and it has been a while. Well, we missed like 2 days.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is stuff happened, and yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, on my front, again, if you're wondering, why did I not, or why did we not talk My Hero? I worked at Dodgers Fan Fest on Saturday, and that practically took up the entire day. By the time I
Mm.
got home and I was eating dinner, it was practically 8 p.m. And my co-host, on the other hand, could not talk One Piece, or not One Piece, My Hero, on Saturday. I'm like, okay, let's push it back to Sunday now. Things came up on his end, so obviously you're seeing this. We're recording this Sunday night, but you're seeing this on Monday, pretty much. But listen, that's kind of the thing going forward. So yeah, but this episode of My Hero Academia was a great episode. Great episode.
Hmm. Yes, indeed.
We get some reveal drops that are just shocking. Um,
Hmm.
and then the end of the episode, most definitely game changer.
Yes, what we've been seeing in the openings. Badass Deku.
Yes. Anyways, we start the episode off with the trial of Deku. Well, it really wasn't a trial of Deku. It was the previous One for All users pretty much explaining to Deku like, okay, this is what's going on with One for All. We're gonna tell you the entire truth that needs to be known about One for All. So we meet users. We meet some more users. We meet I forgot the guy's first name, but his last name is Shinomori. Um he's the guy that, well, if you don't know, his quirk, what is his quirk?
Uh, he's the one with this danger sensing one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Um so what you saw in the fight with Shigiraki when Deku had that lightning strike hit around his head, it would practically alert him to danger. So in other words,
I still remember
um
that face.
yeah, in other words, it's pretty much spider sense,
Hmm.
which is funny because Black Whoop is like Spider-Man's swinging webs and things like that.
Little by little, Deku is becoming more like a Spider-Man than anything.
So, um, I did like his design. He was pretty cool. What are your thoughts on the design of that guy?
No eyebrows.
So, yeah, he looks pretty badass. I believe he is the fourth user of One for All. He's the fourth user of One for All. Now there was another user. He looks kind of similar to Best Jeanist. He has his face like covered, or his face and nose covered like this, but he's wearing red. And he has black hair. He doesn't really talk much. But to my knowledge, I believe that was trying to remember. White guy is the white guy is the first user. The guys in the back, that's the second and the third user at One for All. They don't talk to him at all. They're just like this. If I could show it, but sorry for the logo. But pretty much, their faces turned at the wall like they're in timeout.
Mm, so what's their deal? That like they don't think that Deku's worthy or something?
I don't want to give that away yet,
Mm.
but that's what your speculation could be.
Either that or something they did in their lives that they're not proud of or something.
Could be. But yeah, hey, those guys, their whole thing will be revealed later on. With what goes on, actually, I think one of them you'll definitely get more info about one of them before the end of the season.
Mm.
So that's all I'm going to say there. But yeah, those are the second and the third users. I believe Shinomori is the fourth user. Um, the guy that looks like Best Genius, I believe, is the fifth user. Nana Shimura is the sixth user. All Might is the seventh user, and then Deku is. Wait, hold on, I gotta get this shit right. No, there's 9 users of One for All. I'm not doing this. I'm not. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. But okay, you get all of them designed. You get funny little banter with Daigoro Bongo and things like that. Deku can talk, but it's kind of like a muffling talk, but they can still understand him pretty much. So we find out one information about One for All that it's actually pretty groundbreaking. What is the thing that is so special about one, it was mentioned earlier in the season and even a little bit in season 5 of the reasons of the previous users of One for All why they died early or why they died young, but in that case for them would be considered old, I guess. But we find out with, like, for example, the fourth user, we find out like, oh, he was some hermit guy that he was some guy that lived off all by himself, and he was like a hermit, not like Master Roshi, but he was a hermit that just pretty much trained. His body was in peak condition, he was physically fit, but then he just felt like something was off, and he felt like, I feel like I'm getting a little bit weaker though. I don't know, something feels off about me, and everything. What is the pretty interesting revelation about One for All, especially when it pertains to Deku?
Apparently, One for All actually shortens the lifespan of the user.
And that
Okay.
is
Because those users already have quirks.
yes.
Yes, and we find out that well, from Deku, like All Might was quirkless, which is and he was able to like have One for All for longer.
Yes.
Which leads to like the key, like the key to One for All is a quirkless user, basically.
Yep. And we know in today's society for My Hero Academia, that's pretty hard to find a quirkless individual. Because the whole evolution of quirks getting stronger and better than the previous generation's quirks and things like that. So just from the fact that they make the mention, it's like, yeah, Deku, you might be the last user of One for All left, which
Mhm.
is pretty shocking revelation. Like when they revealed this in the manga, I was like, oh, so he's special.
Mhm.
Okay. And I love how they used the whole thing of the fact of like, well, you see, we already had quirks. You're adding another quirk on top of it, and they use it in like the form of a glass cup. When that power was already with the stockpile of the power of One for All added with one of the former users of One for All's quirks, it obviously broke the cup because it's too much power to handle for them.
That reminds me. Remember when Deku gave his power to remember in Heroes Rising
Yep.
when Deku like gave One for All to Bakugo during that fight.
Yep.
Sorry if I spoil anyone, but I don't know why
The
you're
movie's
watching.
been out for years, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd be watching this video if you haven't watched that movie. Anyways, yeah, just imagine what kind of effect that would have had on Bakugo if he kept One for All.
It would have
'Cause
shortened his life, but I don't really. Well, I still don't know. They need to come out and confirm are the movies canon because they actually do fit in. They can actually fit in the canon timelines
depends
of
where
the
they place it.
series.
Depends where
But
they. Yeah.
again, I don't want to talk too much about Heroes Rising. They didn't really explain how the hell the quirk ended up going from Bakugo then back to Deku. I don't know. They kind of give a BS reasoning of what the hell, and they kind of, I guess, retconned the whole transmission of power. But regardless, you can have the whole thing with there. You can add the Mario factor too. Because remember, All Might originally was supposed to go see Mario to give One for All to him. His life would have been shortened. Although the quirk would have been if Mario was still quirkless and Deku openly gave him the quirk, well then he would be fine. Um but that's another thing. So legitimately for the people that were like, Mario should have gotten One for All, this episode pretty much killed that theory.
So yeah, so to those who thought that Mirio should have gotten the quirk, shut up.
I even said that in in my manga chapter review. Vividly remember saying, yeah, to people who said Mirio should have had one for all. This quirk literally shows you that Deku is the chosen one. Shut the hell up and move on and get over that. Plus, Mirio's got his quirk back again. So, that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the thing. So that's some pretty big information. Then we have oh yeah, and then I forgot to mention we don't see All Might in the Vestige world, but we kind of see like his fiery essence there because now they haven't explained what that means like in the manga. I can only say this. My guess is it's because he's still alive. His fiery essence is still there. If he dies, well, maybe if Deku were to go into the Vestige world, he would see the legit body of All Might right then and there. That's my only guess. But even then, the fiery still showed emotion and everything. So then you have Nana Shimura come up, and she's like, "All right, I need to talk to you now. You know Shigaraki, yeah, he's my that's my grandson right there." Now, what is the question she poses to Deku?
Is he willing to stop Shigaraki even if it means killing him?
Yep. And that was obviously the pressing question of this episode. And what does Deku pretty much say?
Well, he basically said like he fought a lot of villains and they never broke. But Shigaraki, he saw inside Shigaraki in the Vestige world. He saw a child crying.
Yep. He pretty much makes the mention that, you know, All for One was not All for One. One for All isn't a quirk that is. He believes that it isn't a quirk meant to kill. He believes it's a quirk that is meant to save. And he does make the mention like, yeah, maybe in my past battles, I could have tried to get some insight into why a villain did what they did, what served their purpose. Now, would have that ended up in a fight? Who knows? Maybe I still would have had to fight said character. But I want to understand why they're doing what they're doing and an effort to maybe change them and save them. Now, the closest guy, I guess you can say that you can quote unquote think, maybe make a mention he might have saved, probably might have been Gentle Criminal, because in a way he made him kind of surrender. And Gentle Criminal could actually relate to Deku in a way. But obviously, you know, you would have to wonder, well, okay, Deku, you can try that, but what if all else fails? Because we know, at the end of the day, Shigaraki's main goal is he wants to destroy everything. So Shigaraki may be beyond saving, and you may actually have to do what he might not want to do. So that's kind of the thing there. Now, they do make the mention, also they speak on the fact like, well, the reason why All for One hasn't been able to take the quirk is because his convictions hasn't been strong enough to take the quirk from us. And we kind of get some insight into why maybe All for One probably took over Shigaraki's body, because he wants to use Shigaraki's massive, I guess, conviction of hate and anger. Yes. You know, if you watch Star Wars, you know, the Emperor always talked about having hate and anger. Bring out your anger and your hate and strike your father down. I know that's not the best Emperor performance, but that's what he was all about. That's pretty much what the dark side of the Force was all about. Hate and anger. And we see that All for One is like, well, shit. This boy has all this hate and this anger. Maybe it's easier for me to take the quirk. So, I think you kind of get some insight into why All for One is trying to take over Shigaraki's body. Also, too, I think to continue living a long life as well, because the man does not want to die. Again, it's like we say about All for One. He's always got a backup plan for a backup plan for a backup plan.
How many times? How many times have we seen that in the villain?
Honestly, the man's playing chess more than checkers. So, hey, listen, I might not like him, but hey, give credit to where he do. He managed to stay alive for decades for reasons.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's kind of it. They pretty much also, I did like the scene when Deku was saying like, yeah, I learned all the traits I learned from All Might. You have the All Might message literally freaking crying. Um, which it does kind of hit you. The Nana Shimura part was crying too. I really do feel bad for her. Really do feel bad for her.
Hmm.
Again, recollects her flashback, and she ends up telling Deku like, you don't need to worry about Gran Torino. He's still alive. He's not dead. Just tell him I said hi. Which, damn, that hits. So, you still against this maybe Nanashimura Gran Torino relationship that may have not happened?
You know what? Let's put that debate down in the comment section. What do you guys think went down between Nana Shimura and Gran Torino? Let us know down below.
I think they were an item. At this point, there's too many damn hints to give it away that they were an item.
I think it's just a hug between friends, man. I don't know.
I think they're more than just friends.
Let us know your thoughts, guys. Let us know your thoughts.
All right, moving on. We get back to the real world. Hawks and Best Genius knock on All Might, and then pretty much they're like, "Yeah, we need to know what One for All is about right now. So I think it's in your best interest to tell us." And All Might pretty much knows like they're gonna probably keep asking me until I tell them. So I might as well tell them. He pretty much is like, "All right, just follow me. We'll go off somewhere secure." So some time has passed. We have this press conference with Hawks Best Genius, who has, my God, talk about the longest neck. He has a freaking suit all the way up to his neck.
I mean, his collar did seem unusually long, so I guess that makes sense.
So we get this press conference where these three pretty much they explain what's been going on and they explain what the future will be going forward and things like that. So yeah. As Endeavor pretty much, he comes out, he says, everything that Dobby said is true. There was not one lie, it is. He is my former son, Toya Todoroki. That's kind of the thing. Also, Hawksmate says, like, yes, my father was a villain at the time, and things like that. Now, you have this freaking, obviously, we like to call Karens, just have an outbreak in the press conference where she's like, my mom almost died because of your stupid transgressions. The villains are still out there. She almost got trampled on to death by Gigantomachian. You show like you don't care.
Aaron. Guess that's an interesting comparison.
So practically, she was bitching of the fact that her mom was injured in a hospital and she's crying because the heroes aren't crying. But if they had cried, I bet you should have been like, why are you crying? Get yourself up and go stop the villains. You can't have it either way with these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Endeavor pretty much is like, well, what the hell do you want us to do? Cry in front of you? There's nothing else we can do.
Damn. Yeah.
He pretty much says, like, there's nothing else we can do but go out there and stop the villains. You just have to have confidence and belief that we can do the job. And we will do the job, pretty much. And he pretty much says, listen, don't direct your hate to any of the other heroes, for this incident. Direct your hate towards me. And again, he gives that whole line of just watch me type of line as he lights his fires up. So it seems like Endeavor's got a renewed passion to stop the villains. Which for this guy, I think he definitely needs to. It's his way to get over and atone for his misgivings in the past. Now, we do cover Dobby's like, you're still at it, huh, old man? All right. So, don't know where that's going to go, but you have any idea where you think it's going to be going for that?
I have no idea, man. No idea. I'm just...
So yes, we're getting to the end of the episode. One of the last bits of the episode, we cut back. Oh, one I forgot to mention. In this press conference, they make the mention that UA will be practically a safe haven. What's that other word? whatever, a safe haven, like a little mini base for the community to stay in, to feel safe if they don't feel safe enough. We see that some of the parents of the students are already moving in. Makes sense. They should get first priority because, well, you would want to live with your kids and probably maybe the safest place to go. Now, the question is, why are they broadcasting it to the world? That just tells the villains, well, we're at UA, come and get us. Do you think that could be a problem, or
that could definitely be a problem.
Could be. I guess we'll just have to find out as the weeks go on. So we cut to UA. Speaking of UA, we cut to UA in pretty much the student dorm areas. And what happens?
They get a letter. They get a letter from Deku. And he explained everything to his friends about One for All. And how he's going to be staying away from UA. Because if he stays there, the villains will be constantly going after him in there and putting his friends in danger. And you see Uraraka there crying.
Well, she doesn't necessarily cry, but she calls him a baka.
Did you not see the tears? Wait, was there tears? I don't remember.
No, she didn't really cry. She did look visibly upset, but it didn't get to the point where she was crying. Also, too, he gave them all individual notes. The handwriting he had to do probably to write the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over again. Maybe with slight differences, probably to people that he ultimately cares about, like say Ida or Ochako or something like that. But generically, he probably wrote the same exact message to them, which that's some that's some dedication out there to write. How many letters? I know I wouldn't do that. I would just send one big letter put it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, it shows how much each and every character has impacted him in his life. And all the characters in UA, they all are shocked by this. And
yes.
they're like, what the hell? Why would he leave and everything? So that's kind of thing. Now, we don't see Bakugo's reaction to this news and everything. We don't see Todoroki's reaction to this news. We actually don't see both of them. They're both the reactions. It's just kind of the generic classmates and things like that. Now, it's interesting that he would give this. Now, remember, there's this traitor storyline still going on if you somehow still forgot about this. The fact that Deku has this much trust, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe there might not be a traitor amongst the class. Maybe there is.
I'm guessing you know something.
Shockingly enough, I won't say anything, but I know who the betrayer is.
Oh, Lord.
I know who the betrayer of UA is. I won't say anything.
I have my suspicions, but I'm not going to guess anything yet.
You're still not going to guess?
I'm not going to guess.
But it's interesting. If this traitor is still a thing, he could... this person, he or she, could end up telling All For One, hey, he left UA. Does that mean UA could be put in danger? Because we know All For One likes to tug on the strings of people he cares about. In the fight against All Might, he tugged at the strings of All Might by pissing him off by talking about Nana Shimura.
Yes, I know he would do something like that.
So you would think maybe he sends League of Villains to attack UA to try to draw Deku out. Could be the case. But anyways. Last scene of the episode. Whole month has passed. It's the month of April. In the My Hero Academia world. We see pretty much that the opening song animation style, where Deku is right then and there on top of that skyscraper, just looking amongst the populace. In his raggedy costume. Here's this rumbling going on. He's like, oh, it seems like that's a noise over there. I guess another villain's back. And he looks like he's about to go off to go find out what's going on, which, if you watch the next episode preview, it's muscular, but that's kind of the thing there. And episode ends literally titled The final act begins.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have now the anime has officially entered final arc territory.
Yes.
Now, when I saw this part of the manga, I was just floored with what I was getting. I was like, oh yes, yes, yes. Now, Deku being on his own, now leaving his hero academia.
Yeah.
Which is how the manga said it. What are your thoughts on Deku going solo? I know you don't. I know you haven't seen what he does yet, but still, what are your thoughts on him leaving UA going solo? What people quote unquote call him vigilante Deku now.
It's pretty crazy considering his dream was to become a hero in UA, and now he's putting that aside just to protect his friends now.
Yeah, he's going solo. You see his eyes; he looks tired. He looks like a tired MFer. Also too, his costume is also, the green isn't as green. It's kind of shaded out.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wearing his Air Force gauntlets gloves. He's wearing his season 2 gloves.
Hmm.
And also he has this like reddish maroonish band, I guess, things wraps around his arms. Could that be something that pertains to his injuries? Potentially. Who knows?
Shout out to Melissa.
Oh, you think those are the full gauntlets?
Yes.
Is that your prediction? You think that's what it is?
I guess that's one, yeah.
Oh, my boy's put down a prediction. He thinks it's the full gauntlets from MHA, the movie Two Heroes.
Like I said, shout out to Melissa.
Wow. Okay. My boy is already making his predictions clean. Yes. Now the last thing I gotta make a mention of, which is getting blown up just as bad as live action Luffy's freaking little slippers not being sandals. And I apparently found out people were mad about, oh, Nami's boob size, the actress's boob size isn't as big as the anime. Yeah, that's really a thing. Come on, people. Come on. You really ain't trying to watch this One Piece live action just to see the actress who plays Nami's tits. Come on. Be better, people. Be better. The complaint people made in this week's episode pertains to the last scene.
Damn.
It's like I said in the fight against Shigiraki. The blue sky shit people keep talking about. The same thing happened here. People were crying and complaining about the blue sky. Why is this arc supposed to be the darkest arc in My Hero Academia? Why is there still a blue sky?
Can't it be daytime, people? It can't just be nighttime all the time. Unless you want the earth to stop moving.
Listen, if you're an anime only that is only watching this and you're complaining about this, first things first, I'm going to tell you, shut the hell up. If you watch the PV trailer, which literally released after the episode was done airing, they literally show you episode moments from the incoming episodes where there's a darkened sky. I know for a fact, going forward, the arc is going to change in terms of the sky lighting and things like that. It's going to be darker. You're going to get a battle later in this arc where Deku's fighting in dark skies at night in the rain. Majority of this arc is going to take place at night. People still complaining about blue skies and crap like this. Guess what? In the manga panel, there was blue skies. The sky was clear and there was clouds in the sky. Go back and look at that manga panel in that chapter. It had clear skies with clouds, just like this. What do you want to expect?
They're just manga elitists, I bet.
Could be. Again, it's the whole thing of you have these big expectations, but then when you get your expectations, you want it to look like it's in the freaking opening, where it's like Goku Black level future skies. Now, could they have did that choice? Yes, but they're going it off with the manga. The manga showed a clear sky with clouds in the background. They would think, okay, that's probably blue. They probably got Horikoshi's word off it too. If you're that upset about a stupid sky, good God, when guess what? Later in this arc, you're going to be getting rain and darkness. Like as if the My Hero Academia world turns into Gotham City.
Yeah, if you have such a big problem with the sky, why don't you go live out in space for all I care? Since it's always dark, like how you want it.
Like, my goodness. The fandom, the community picks apart this stuff like ease, and then they're like, oh, this is why the anime is terrible. Please. Season 6 has been the best season of My Hero Academia, and people are complaining about a simple skylight in terms of the blue sky. Again, like I said, you want it to be like the opening. And they said also, too, it wasn't detailed enough. Whatever. You're going to get detailed scenes later on. Who cares? Move on and get legit a life, bro. If you're worried about blue skies, guess what? I see blue skies every day out here in California. Like the times, like, for example, this morning, oh, it was overcast.
I just find this situation so hysterically funny.
I know. It's crazy. Next week, Deku's gonna be fighting Muscular rematch from season 3. Yes. Here are your predictions with this fight, Deku versus Muscular rematch. I know we talked off screen about it, but give it to the audience.
Yes, Deku has more experience now, but I still think he'll struggle considering how much. For one, Deku last time Deku had to go like literally like beyond 100% to defeat him, and right now Deku doesn't have like a 100% like a one for all down completely. So he might still struggle a bit.
You can say that. My only way to play devil's advocate is it's been a month.
Yeah.
So he could have trained secretly. Plus, it seems like he's been doing this for quite a while. So, yeah. I know how that fight goes. And it's gonna be really exciting. Plus, Deku's using the mask. He's using the mask for once.
Yes, although knowing the entirety of My Hero Academia, it'll start to shave off during the battle.
Yes, which, funny enough, I love how people made a joke of the mask, but I'm telling you, when you watch further and further of this show, you'll actually think the mask looks badass on him, actually. I'm not joking. I like the green eyes right then and there. But yes, like I said, the costume looks a little bit shaded out. The green looks like shaded out, but maybe it's because he's literally wearing the same costume he wore from his fight against Shigiraki that was already tore up. Yeah, but solid episode of My Hero Academia. Definitely can't wait for more. Definitely hyped for next week. I can't wait for more. This is the part that I was dying to see get animated, man. And this was honestly my part. I thought this is where they should end the season off. That's what I wanted it to be. But look, we still got a few more episodes left to go of this season, and I'm glad. Again, season 7, whenever that season will come, that'll be based on the manga. Right now, the manga, they went on an unexpected break because Horikoshi's health flared up again. I said in my Black Clover manga chapter review, I just hope the guy they just give him a long break to take off and get healthy again, because I want this guy not to like finish his story in pain, and things like that. But solid episode. I know for my co-host over here, you're gonna be in for a wild ride the last few bits of episodes. Also, I forgot to make a mention. Do you think Class 1A will go after Deku to try to bring him back to 1A or UA?
Judging from the ending theme, yes.
Oh, You really think that? Okay, okay.
I really think so.
Now the question is this: do you think he'll peacefully go with them, or do you think they'll have to fight him?
Deku wanting to fight his classmates? That's is that a teaser?
I mean, we could be getting Bakugo versus Deku Part 4.
You got me thinking now. Has Deku gone that rogue?
Who knows? You made a mention earlier. He left UA to try to protect his friends, probably.
I don't know, man. Now you got me thinking. Now you got me thinking.
Hey, look, I had the same thoughts about this when I read them on. Like, Class 1, are you gonna try to find them? Oh shit, if they do, what is gonna happen? So yes. Anyways, we're gonna go over, guys. Catch you guys in the next video. We'll be back for next week, hopefully on Saturday. If not, then yeah, that's why. But anyways, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, peace.